We'll see if anybody comes on. Sorry for the. Well, no, it's not that bad. I opened the shades, curtains, and I thought it would be glare, but it's not. So here we go. I pray notifications go out because I'm in the mood to talk, and if nobody shows up, then again, I did upload videos this morning, so that's probably why notifications aren't coming up now. My girls hold me down, them boys mess around, then not like it's a headache, we going out tonight. No, 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 no. Yeah, I'm just fooling around, waiting to see who shows up. If anyone. A
What am I holding in my hand but a brightly oven?
Well, anyway, for the two people watching, or one person watching, we can talk Sistas. I pretty much worked early. I just went ahead and knocked out the trailer, the review, and the discussion videos. I feel like both the Oval and Sistas, they were kind of lacking in terms of discussion points because most of the things that I thought I would want to talk about, I've either recently done a video on it or the episode just really rehashed things that we've been talking about for weeks without really adding anything to it. On the sister side, I have nothing to say about Danni because we're just going through the same thing of her being insecure about herself in regards to her money this time. Sabrina is just the same old thing. They make Jacoby way too thirsty. I mean, they're doing to Jacoby what they did to Madison on the Haves and the Have-Nots, where he's a new character. I thought, okay, this is cool. We're adding a new character to the mix. And he kind of gave off a cool vibe. And it's like, yeah, I can rock with Jacoby. He might know Alonzo, but him being understandably assertive to Maurice made a lot of sense because of how Maurice was treating him. But now you're just making him a sex hound, essentially. Andi, I have nothing to say on that. Like I said, I just did a video about is Gary an abuser. Then I did a video about Karen because of a synopsis that's coming up in episode 19, and that's it. Like I said, even the previews didn't really give me a lot to work with, so that's why it was easier to breeze through my videos this morning. Like, the only things for me to do around here, I went to both Walmarts in town this morning. I just Ubered, which was a waste because not a Pokemon card in sight, sadly. So I just got a hand. Overall, I had like maybe 5 bags of stuff. That's how little I needed. So my closet, I'm probably not going to start on that today because that's a hassle in itself. I got a few phone calls to make. I want to call the financiers because I haven't gotten a call back and it's been like 2 days. So I'm just going to call them, reach out, and see if I can get any information. I'm probably going to dissolve the Patreon because I know people want to donate, but there's no point in donating a couple bucks each month. I don't post anything on there. I'll make the Delilah Facebook group. So I got like a very small to-do list today. I need to list more stuff on eBay soon to bring in more money, and that's about it. But yeah, I don't dislike Danni. I just don't like what the character is set to do now. I mean, I'd rather have the argument between Preston and Danni be about the fact that she doesn't trust the sister because of the half brothers. More like Danni is the antagonist and Preston kind of has to set her straight, because the problem is, oh wait, so Danny, you're assuming my entire family's racist even after I told you that's not the case, just like my half brothers assume that you fit into the negative stereotypes of all black people. I gave the episode a 5 out of 10. It wasn't bad, but not a lot of stuff happened. I felt like we were really rehashing the same material for a lot of characters. Andi is just so delusional. I thought Aaron made a very solid point where it's not our place to judge, but at the same time, it's like, if you have a friend and you know they're in a situation which is bad for them, yes, they're an adult and they can make their own decisions, but I'd much rather you hate me because I'm trying to stop you from destroying yourself. Because imagine if things go too far and Andi's dead. How do you think Karen's going to feel about that? You know, like, if nothing else, there's going to be a constant guilt because she wasn't able to save her friend. So I can see both sides of the situation. It's like Aaron said, I'm not taking Gary's side. I'm not taking Andi's side. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, it's their decision. Who are we to judge? And like Aaron saying, you know, he isn't taking sides, which is good because, like he said, I only know the Gary that he's shown me to be. So I really like that scene between Karen and Aaron because of the fact that neither one of them was right or wrong. Both have their reasons for reacting to the situation the way they do. Karen because that's her friend and she bruised ribs, fractured ribs, whatever the situation is. I really have nothing to say about the Sabrina situation. Like I said, I just didn't like the Jacoby thing. It's just that the Calvin cliffhanger had me going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. It's a tough situation, a friend of being. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What about the Karen and Zach situation? I really don't have much to. Oh, you mean the credit card thing? Yeah, that, like I said, I did a couple of branch off videos from the episode. I don't know if Hayden had anything to do with the credit card now. Now I'm just really second guessing that. I was just curious because we know Hayden had the drugs planted. What did she say? Leon? That was the name of one of her neighbors. Fatima said she looked at her neighbor's security cameras or something. Like you said, at the end of the day, it's Andi's decision. Agreed. Okay, so basically, Leon, who knows Hayden, let's just say Leon is like a yes man, thug, servant, whatever the situation is. So Leon planted the drugs in the truck so Zach would have those charges on him. Because I'm really thinking, I honestly don't think Hayden had anything to do with the credit card. But at the same time, if Zach wasn't pulled over because Karen put a warrant out for his arrest due to the credit card fraud, then on what charges would the policemen have pulled Zach over for? So technically, I just debunked my thought that Hayden had nothing to do with the credit card thing. Something just ain't adding up, you know? Because I really wish they would have cleared it up. I mean, Fatima doesn't know about the credit card. She only knew about the drugs. So, I don't know. This episode, they really should have had a scene where Zach got out of jail just so Rhea could have been like, I was wrong about you. And then Zach could have been like, yeah, exactly. And then he walks off. We really needed a scene like that. And I can understand Zach. See, on the Danni side, I can understand her reluctance due to Preston's racist family. And then on the Zach side, I can see him being reasonably worried because guess what? He's on probation. So even if he screws up intentionally or not, if he goes back, there's a good chance, you know, it might be permanent this time. And basically, he has a valid reason to be worried because who's to say there isn't another Hayden out there? What I mean is, another former lover of Fatima who might be jealous enough to do something to Zach. Because remember, Fatima just dates around. She doesn't really commit to a relationship. So there's a chance another Hayden could be out there. Maybe he's not a lawyer or anything, but you just never know. So Danni and Zach, they're in not relationships, but they've connected to somebody pretty good for them. But the problem is, both Preston and Fatima come with their own baggage. Fatima's exes and Preston's, the part of his family that's racist. I did love the Preston moment where he's like, I'm doing pretty well. It's like, well, you don't dress like you do. Well, these are limited edition boots. That was a funny line. But like I said, I'm just kind of over the whole thing. It's like, it's been 3 or 4 times and we've already revisited the whole Danni, tell me what's wrong instead of just lashing out, like just tell me what I can do. I'm like Preston, I'm that fixer, I can understand that. But then I also understand, like, not everything can be fixed right then and there. Sometimes people need to feel what they feel and then communicate it. But at the same time, just don't completely dismiss me. That's the thing. You got to find that nice middle ground. But like I said, I still give the episode a 5 out of 10 because it really just kind of rehashed things we've already explored with these characters. I mean, there's only 4 episodes up, 19, 20, 21, 22. And notice how Gary was cool-headed. Oops. There we go. Notice how cool-headed Gary was at the beginning of the episode. So it's kind of like, Karen was treating Andi the way Gary used to treat her in regards to being aggressive. Karen's bonsai tree almost gets destroyed and she disrespected Zach by violating the value of his godfather stuff. So do you think Karen... Oh, I definitely think Karen's a hypocrite. But at the same time, she's looking out for her girl. Like, don't get me wrong. And I hate what Andi keeps doing. Anytime Karen tries to rightfully tell her about Gary, well, what about Zach? You still love Zach. Karen moved on. Yeah, you're not just going to... You can move on, but emotionally your heart's still going to be with that other person. So it just makes... I cannot comprehend how Andi is trying to compare the situation between her and Gary and Karen and Zach. It just makes no sense to me. And correct me if I'm wrong, but did Zach ever put his hands on Karen? The only time I remember is when he threw some keys and hit her in the face unintentionally. And then she got a knife and he ran out of there. Andi want to call Karen out. Don't like... What is there to call Karen out on? I mean, yeah, the credit card bull crap, but that's different because I don't think she knows Karen did that. The whole warrant to get Zach arrested. Because to be honest, I remember at the beginning of the season when everybody Danni and Andi were telling Karen to get Zach out of jail. And I'm like, hell no. He was the one who broke into the hotel room and started that fight. So it was almost like Karen owed it to Zach. No, she didn't. And I'm not saying Karen is foul in some places. He accidentally elbowed Karen in the face. Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me that. I literally forgot. Because I knew it was something. I don't know if it was the keys or if it was a physical thing. But I know whatever it wasn't something he did intentionally. Oh yeah, we got more people on here now. Thanks for tuning in. We're just kind of doing a quick recap on Sistas. Earlier today, I did all the videos. Was that during his fight with Aaron? I don't think so. I mean, again, I could be absolutely wrong. I know that when he and Zach got into it, they messed up the TV and stuff. I think Tyler should take Andi out of the show and replace her with Fatima. Fatima just came in and stole the show. It was kind of like, what was it? The Jacksons, the Jackson 4 or whatever, and then Michael came in and just stole the show. That's Fatima. But the thing is, I really like the character. And not to mention, her actress has a great backstory. She was Tyler Perry's stylist, and now, boom, she's on Sistas, and look at her now. That scene at the end of season 1 in the country. I mean, I feel as annoyed with Andi as the rest of the fans and Karen, because Karen said it right. It's like, how are you so well off in all the other aspects of your life except when it comes to picking a man? Not to mention, when Karen's like, you lied to me. I didn't lie to you. I omitted the truth. It's like, oh, now you want to act like you're a lawyer now, by using that kind of jargon or second or double talk. I want to be real here. If I were Karen, I'd just cut ties with Andi. The only thing is, like, I think Andi paid for her salon, so Karen's paying her back for it. So I'll be like, look, if you want to choose this man over our friendship, there's nothing I can do about that. Hey, I know I still owe you. I'll go ahead and we'll communicate when I give you my monthly payment. However, however Karen pays back Andi, and then that's it. I know it sucks, but not to get political here, but just thinking about the last 4 years when Trump was in office, I there were a lot of friends I lost. Not because we had these huge debates, but it's like when you saw how their true colors shown, and then there were a couple people like, yeah, debates or whatever. I just cut ties. Like friends I had for like 5+ years, going back to college and whatnot. But it is what it is. Like once somebody is firm on their stance and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, again, there's nothing you can do about it. Tough luck. I would be done with Andi. Me too. Yo, I was mad though when Karen tried to put the ring in the sink. I'm like, pawn that thing. Yeah, lies of omission are still a lie. I remember that from Young Justice when Wonder Woman was telling Shazam, why didn't you tell us when you were a kid? I didn't lie to you all. I just didn't tell you the part about the fact that I was 10 years old. A lie of omission is still a lie. Because Karen said, hey, Gary came by the salon. Has he tried to meet up with you yet? No. Technically, she didn't lie. No, technically speaking, Andi didn't. I need to go back and rewatch the scene. That doesn't mean cut ties with your friend. Are you talking about the Andi and Karen situation? It's basically Andi shutting down Karen, who is a concerned friend. So obviously, Gary is something she's choosing over her friendship. Just saying. These four still don't feel like friends. I agree. This is not living single. Living single friends. Girlfriends is iffy because I remember when I rewatched season 1 months ago. It's like Tony Joan was just a doormat. People walked all over. Lynn was a freeloader. Tony was just an awful friend to everybody. Her and Maya they weren't even friends like that. I think Maya was like Joan's only real friend, whereas Lynn was a friend, but at the same time she was a moocher. I'd say the worst friend on that group was Tony. But even still, there was like more of a chemistry between those four than on Sistas. That's why I say I like Bruh, because Bruh, the four dudes, they have their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you can really tell they're friends. I'll be done with the situation as far as trying to keep her from Gary. Not being her friend is a stretch if they're real friends. Yeah, kind of going back to the last comment, they really don't feel like friends. It's like whenever they have their powwows and they're drinking, that's when they kind of catch up on each other's tea. But even still, it really doesn't matter because you can have all the girl groups you want to, the girl meetups where you talk about everything, but Andi going to do what Andi going to do. I agree. It's not that I don't like Danny and Preston, but trust me, I've been in situations like that where I'm a Preston trying to be kind and understanding, but there was a girl who wasn't used to that. They weren't used to a guy who's actually attentive, sensitive, and romantic. But I agree, like Danny needs to really change how she approaches these situations. Like, I completely understand her being upset that Preston had an uninvited guest. I'm that kind of person. Like, my roommate, he always lets me know, if somebody's like coming by and they're like in his room or the living room, yeah, that's one thing. But he'll ask like, hey, I got a friend who needs a place to crash a couple of days. Okay, if they stay on the couch. It's like, cool. But in the Preston situation, I think I really feel the route that they should have taken with Preston's sister is Danny, and she was saying this at the dinner table, being uneasy because hey, earlier today, your half brother, or was it the previous day? No, yeah, it was like, hey, yesterday, two of your family members came to my job, harassed me. So I don't know if I'm too, okay with another family member knowing where I live. I thought that was the route they were going to take, but then they completely flipped it. Well, hey, your family's well off, and I didn't want my first impression to them to be in an apartment where I'm barely keeping up the rent. Look, I've only had two apartments, but I honestly I don't see why Danny would be ashamed of her place. Sure, I mean, it wasn't public knowledge to Preston's sister that she's behind on the rent, but I honestly think Danny has a nice place. So I don't really understand where that conflict came from. I think Preston's sister is up to something. I don't think so. One route I was going to go with, hey, thanks for joining in. Is that Super Mario? Yeah, I think that's Super Mario. For a second, I thought that was Big Bird. I think I'm wearing Sesame Street socks, but I forgot. I haven't taken my shoes off. Like, I just got dressed this morning, got the Uber. I went to Walmart. I'm wearing the print shirt, Purple Rain. Then this is a Dragon Ball cap. So, yeah. I don't think that Calvin, I just think that Calvin is an explorer of his sexuality as far as dating and trying to move on from a woman he clearly loved. Yeah. I really don't have any thoughts about it. Like, is Calvin gay? I honestly don't really fully understand the alphabet community because of the fact that I think that Calvin would be bisexual. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I knew he was open-minded, but I didn't really know if you know, what you call it when two people of the same gender have sex, but then they date. I don't know. I'm not trying to offend. Please understand, I don't know. So, friend in Ohio, he's like, yo, I went to Walmart. There ain't no Pokemon cards. We got 30 people. Hit the thumbs up button. Y'all want to keep the conversation going? Like I said, I don't mind. Videos are done. Like, I think that I'm glad the next few days are going to kind of be light because of the fact that next week, we got Delilah and we got Ruthless coming back. So I'm going to have pretty hefty plate. I might go home for a couple of days. I don't know yet. So Karen needs to distance herself from Andi. That's the thing, though. It's like, I just hate those friends where you constantly have to deal with their bull crap. And when you tell them the same information over and over, they're going to do what they want to do. But as soon as they fall apart, What do you think of Kyle? Are you referring to the Oval? I'm asking because sometimes Tyler Perry's has characters of the same name on different shows. Honestly, that's a good question. I wonder if we're getting a Ruthless season 2 trailer, but only distance not cut off. Fair enough. Oh, the Oval Con. Um, the moment she gets in trouble, she's going to say they aren't being good friends. Oh my god, that is such a great. I need to screenshot your comment. That you are 100% right. If I had any Tyler Perry DVDs, you would get one right now. Oh yeah, that's another thing. When I was in both WalMarts today, there weren't even any Tyler Perry DVDs. Now keep in mind, I forgot to look at the calendar and realize that it is the 4th, and I know that the first of the month was Monday. So people, came in and just like bum rush Walmart. That could explain why there really wasn't much of anything. But yeah, I do have a Tyler Perry DVD set, but that's for when the Sistas group hits 100,000, and that should be within the next day or so. But I give it a year before Ruthless and all the BET stuff moves to Paramount Plus to watch. That will be interesting. Do you know if the events of Ruthless are happening? No, 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 no. Ruthless is behind the Oval by a couple of days. But the thing is, if you are just watching Ruthless for the first time now, it's going to be confusing as all hell because Ruthless, if you look at season 1 of Ruthless and season 1 of The Oval, in terms of the basic timeline, I'm just going to make this as simple as possible. The Oval is ahead of Ruthless by at least 36 hours. That's as simple as I can put it. Season 1, I'm not counting season 2 yet. And yeah, I know Tally, that's a whole nother thing. I'm not going down that rabbit hole because it makes no sense. And yeah, it's like you got Sabrina, Danni, Karen, Fatima, Miss Irene, all giving Andi great advice, but she chooses to ignore it. What was it? At the beginning of no, not the beginning of season 2, but when the show came back from the mid-season and Aaron and Gary left the bank, and Danni wasn't even chewing Andi out. She was just saying, "Hey, you deserve better. Be careful, girl." And then the girls are just trying to hush her up, and I'm like, "What the hell?" So then, why does Karen all of a sudden get the permission, if you will, to just go in and chew Andi out? It's like Danni was doing nothing wrong. It was Sabrina and Karen who were just babying Andi, and now all of a sudden Karen just like, "Hey girl, you need to wake up." I'm like, well, why is it right for you to say that but not Danni? I don't really see. That's why I say these girls really aren't good friends. Do you think Karen would throw a fit if she found out Zach and Fatima were getting together? Probably, but it wouldn't care. Why are you moving? I got a house. So yeah, like I said, I know it's only March and the lease ends in June, but as soon as I get like after I get off this live stream, I got a couple phone calls to make about financing. But once like the house is moved into this place, I want to get a U-Haul and move everything. Karen better not get mad at Zach. They both. It's like Zach said in the preview. I moved on, but she can't destroy me. That doesn't give her the right to destroy me. I'm like, they better figure out what this damn credit card stuff is about. I'm tired of it. buying a house. I ain't renting. Yep, it's DC. I'm going to get to your comments in a second. I'm just replying to messages right now. Nope, they're not all in Atlanta. Thank you. Do you think Preston will propose to Danni? No. I think the Oval's set in DC. Yep. Miranda's probably still on the show because she and Calvin most likely get back together. I pray not. The Oval Ruthless and Too Close to Home or not. Neither is If Loving You Is Wrong. That was in what, Ohio? I forgot. I think his comedy shows are set in Atlanta. Yes. House of Pain definitely is. Technically, The Pains wasn't. That was in Florida. Well, to be fair, Devontae, this is Tyler Perry, so if he wanted to, the White House could be in Nevada. Preston and Danni just met. Proposed for what? I don't know what state it's in. I don't know. Um, Castillo Lane. I think there was some. I think there is something strange about Preston. I don't. What happened to Maud? Did Jason kill her too? Yeah, she's dead. They said that in the episode. Does that make any sense? I agree that I said that since last week. I don't think that was a good move. Even if you know your sister isn't racist, that's all well and good. I don't think number one, inviting someone over unannounced. Number two, Danni just had a negative experience with some of your family members. I don't think being around more of them is a good thing. At least can talk. If he would, it's like Danni said. If you would at least text me, talk to me, as opposed to her just randomly showing up. Yeah, I agree. They should take a break. Yeah, I agree. It's like I can understand. See, I thought the story was going to be Danni being upset because Preston's in the wrong for inviting his sister over unannounced. Danni feeling some kind of way because, yeah, you could also say Danni's wrong for assuming that all of Preston's family is. Thank you. Preston and Danni's drama feels like he had no idea what to do in terms of drama, so it feels forced. Just like the CW. Yeah, that sums it up. I really don't need to go into it anymore. That's why the Danny stuff felt off-putting in last night's episode. It's like, oh, we need to make Danny feel insecure about her income. So I'm literally Googling right now. It just says Castillo Lane, which I do believe was named after Tyler's mother in the fictional community of Maxine. I honestly don't know where it takes place. I mean, we know the location, we just don't know the state. Honestly, I don't really care. I'm just surprised it's not in Atlanta. No, I do not. No. Dude, The Flash, oh my god. Season 7, episode 1. They already said that the first 3 episodes of season 7 were what should have been the last 3 episodes of season 6. So, maybe WandaVision got me back into superhero shows. So, Black Lightning has been good as hell this season, but I do feel like it is CW, so a lot of things don't make sense. Like Jefferson not wanting to kill Tobias, where his ex-wife and daughter are like, Dad, he knows who we are. We've killed people before. Why is killing Tobias a big deal? Jefferson has that Batman level of intelligence when it comes to the no kill rule. It makes no sense. The Flash was in. I only liked it because I thought it was cool when Wells died. Well, for like the 8th time, but well, he sacrificed himself. But at the same time, I felt some kind of way because it's like we know they're going to get another one. Black Lightning, William from Girlfriends was up on there for like a little bit for one episode. Danny better stop tripping. Yeah, exactly. It's like, despite Preston having racist family members, it's Danny who's actually ruining their relationship more. Oh, I agree. Maud getting killed off like that was stupid. I don't know why Aaron's been more of a background character this season. He hasn't really done anything shady. I mean, that could be build up for the credit card stuff, but I don't know. It's sunny but chilly. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like they had this crisis and all the worlds are merged together. But you think about it, oh, we formed the Justice League, but Arrow ended. Well, he died. They're not making that Green Arrow and the Canaries. Supergirl's in its final season. Legends of Tomorrow is just its own thing out there. Black Lightning is in its final season. And so the only people who would still be at the table would be Flash, Sarah, and Clark. What was the point? I want another Flash and Black Lightning interaction. I'm just like, wow, too bad the Flash doesn't just come over to Freeland and clean things up. Him not doing anything could be build up for the season finale. True. And I know everybody's still waiting on Jasmine. She, I guess, is still in the hospital. I don't know. I think Gary should have just went to Boston. I mean, in the comics, it works. It's like kind of like the Avengers. Like, you have the first Avengers film, but then in Iron Man 3, when Iron Man died, when his house got blown up, it's like, where was Nick Fury? Why wasn't anybody trying to help? Do you think Aaron also knows Calvin? Probably. No, I don't think so. But then again, he knows Paris, and then he's like Gary's spiritual counselor. I think when the sister series ends, Gary's going to kill Andy, assuming he doesn't die first. Karen did say to Gary that she'd shoot him, so. No, they do take place in the same world. It's like, why weren't the other Avengers in Iron Man 3? All right. Okay, well, anything else? Sisters won't end probably until 2023. I mean, the way he's pumping out seasons by 2023, they would be in like season 6 or something. I don't know. All right, well, that's all I have for this live stream. I'm just going to chill. Like I said, I got a couple phone calls to make, and that's about it. So thanks for tuning in. I know notifications didn't go out, but we had a good time here. Yeah, I like your theory. Yeah, I agree. We'll talk Marvel in the next one. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a great day.